Well, hey, welcome to our first Tech Talk Tuesday. I'm Jashina Shelton, founder of Jashina Shelton Enterprises, Faith in AI Leaders. So, Tech Talk Tuesday is just where we get together and we talk, right? And each week has its own theme, and each theme will help us to expand our AI knowledge and our AI vocabulary. So, this week, today, our first session is really on what is AI, what is artificial intelligence, and what do we mean when we say it, when you hear it, all of those things, right? We don't have a lot of time together, so I'm going to make this as concise and as intriguing as possible, right? Because we can get very, very technical into all the seven, or just depending on who you ask, all the multiple layers of artificial intelligence. But I think our first thing we need to do is just listen to those two words, artificial and intelligence. Artificial mean not real. Okay. Intelligence, a system of knowledge. So it the way that I would like to explain it is artificial intelligence is a system of knowledge based on human knowledge that's already been acquired. Right? So imagine going to your local college campus, right? And you get to go to their library system. And this college campus has um, so it's the School of Medicine. So the School of Medicine has its own library, and then it's the School of Arts, and the School of Arts has their own library. Then it's the School of Philosophy, and philosophy has its own library. Well, artificial intelligence has gone to all of those libraries on that college campus, has studied extensively, and knows all the books verbatim. Now, just because something knows the words, we all know that does not mean it knows exactly what those words mean, how to put all those words together. What we're dealing with most of the time when people are saying AI now is something called generative AI. And that does a lot of predicting of what the next word would be, or the next sentence should be, or the next picture should be, based upon all of the libraries it has gone to and seen these words and these patterns together. Okay? Does that okay, yeah. So y'all are with me, it's getting a little clearer. Okay, good. So technically, AI has been around for a long time. I want to say it goes back to the 50s and 60s, like the 1950s and 60s. It's been around for a long time, right? And for a lot of us, I'll date myself. Growing up was like, oh my gosh, that's that cool thing that will happen in the future. Well, now, look at us. Here we are. So now it's all in our voice assistants. You get in a car, you're like, hey, I want to go to the closest McDonald's in a 3 mile radius. Okay, and then on your screen pops up the closest McDonald's in a 3 mile radius. That is because of AI. Or if you want to find out something real quick and you call the AI's name, and I can't say but so many of them because I have a lot of devices in this room. So I can be like, hey Siri, blah 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 blah, and then Siri will answer me back, blah 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 blah. And like, wait a minute, that's awesome. Thanks to artificial intelligence. It's in so many things already. And I know a lot of people are like, it's taking over already. However, it's been a very slow progression towards where we are now. Now things are speeding up. Like, oh my gosh, we can do this, we can do this, we can do this, we can do this. You can. It's a bunch of questions of should you. Just because you can do something, does that mean you should do it? Things to think about, right? So there have been some major milestones, and I want to say one of the one of the biggest milestones happened like in 1997. I'll read it just to make sure I don't get the dates wrong totally. But in 97, IBM Blue Deep defeats world chess champion Gary Kasparov. I might be saying it wrong, right? Then in 2002, the first Roomba vacuum introduces AI into homes worldwide. 2011, IBM Watson wins Jeopardy, and Apple launches Siri. 2011. Okay. 2022 to 2024, generative AI and ChatGPT spark a new wave of adoption. And if you've noticed, the wave is only getting bigger and bigger, right? Okay, so the core principles of artificial intelligence, there are four of them. There's natural language processing, there's neural networks, there's robotics and computer vision, which I think is so awesome. I'm not there yet. And then there's machine learning. Machine learning is where systems learn patterns from data and then they make predictions. Remember, I said they went to a library and based upon where they've seen these word combinations before, that's how they get the answer. Okay. Natural language processing, that's where systems understand and generate human language. Mm. Neural networks, that is computational systems inspired by the human brain structure. Again, who's the intelligence shaped after? Humans. Okay, but they're not humans. Okay. And then, of course, robotics and computer vision. We are not at Hollywood sci fi levels for a lot of things, but we are there. There's a lot of people working to get us there really, really fast. Okay. What we are seeing is we are seeing AI in healthcare, advanced diagnostic, personalized treatment, efficient patient care, with all things exercise care when you're putting your own information into any database system. It's bad enough they have their own data breaches. We don't need to be feeding it personal information. Right. There's also AI in finance with fraud detection, automated trading, customer support. There's a lot of AI customer support. I don't always feel supported. AI in transportation and retail. I've heard some pretty alarming things about AI in transportation, but I don't know them to be true. I have not experienced them myself, so I won't talk about self-driving 18 wheelers at all. I'm not going to talk about it. All right, so the future of AI is growing roles across different industries. There are a lot of people who will say AI is going to replace your job. AI is taking over. AI is taking over. With any industrial change comes a loss of jobs, but also like changes in jobs, changes in career fields. I'm pretty sure when cars came about, the people who were making horseshoes went out of business or their business slowed down. What happens? People adjust. There's going to be an adjustment period, a huge adjustment period for some of us, but there will be an adjustment period. And if you don't adjust and you don't adapt and you want to continue to make horseshoes, that is your choice. But along with that choice comes the consequences, right? Uh, as an adult, we all know with every choice there's consequences. We can always choose our choice, like, oh, I'm going to do this, and then there's always consequences that follow, and sometimes they're good and sometimes they're not good. What I try to tell my people is, hey, learn what you can while you can by any means that you can. And if there are free trainings, jump on all of those because they won't always be free, and at least they will be a gateway. So I really could plug my AI learning community right now. Not gonna do it. I'm just gonna continue to talk about, what is artificial intelligence and why there is so much fear about it. I think that there is a lot of fear around the subject because there are people who want to push a fear agenda. There's fear around this. There's fear around that. Computer, stop. I love technology when it works and it doesn't interfere with our videos. Anyhow, do not be ruled by the fear. If you can get into a class, a training, a lecture series, YouTube videos, educate yourself on different aspects of what artificial intelligence is. And again, I'm not going to plug my community. I'm not going to plug my company that does AI trainings year round. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to say get it where you can get it from, but get it. It's kind of like driving in the city. You don't have to because there are so many different options as far as transportation goes, especially when you have a walkable city, a pedestrian friendly city, Ubers, Lyfts, and things of that nature. So you don't have to, but it's always good to know how to drive in case you have to. All right. Well, thank you so much for tuning in for our first Tech Talk. I will see you all again next Tuesday. Again, this is Jashina Shelton with Jashina Shelton Enterprises, and this has been our first Tech Talk.